And good evening. Well, that's all wrong, isn't it? 2 seconds till we get this. Hail, Stephen. Just checking that the mic is okay. It's a different mic that we're working with. Give me 2 seconds. And I'm going to get this other mic on, which may have an effect on the battery life, but don't worry about that. I'll just get this mic plugged in. And that should be the mic good to go. And that should be us good to go. So that. Good evening. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Let me just double check this. The One Celtic Fan. Yeah, that's fine. Good evening to you, Stephen. I'm all good. There's plenty to talk about tonight. Is that light on? When the lights isn't working. So, what are the SPFL thinking? And I want to get everyone's thoughts on it. Get a poll. Just do this poll. Oops. 10 team, 12 team. Add option 14 team. 14 team. That should have started. How's that not on? There we go. We have lights. Good evening, everyone. So anyway, we're back. With all hurrah, what size of an SPFL do you want? We are the customer. We are the paying. We pay our dues. People pay their money to go to games. We pay for it on TV. And it seems to be that the SPFL and the other teams and the league, etc., have no interest in what we as fans, 20 team, One Square Sausage Fans CFC says 20 team. It seems to be that these decisions are getting made out with our input. We're just paying customers. It's nothing to do with us. Just shut up and pay your money, go to games, and be done with it. It's as simple as that. And I think it's pretty much embarrassing that the SPFL want to change it. And there is a lot of talk about them changing it down to a 10-team league. And I think it's just wrong. It is just completely wrong. But anyway, Rodgers pours cold water on Mateus talk is one of the headlines. Kieran Tierney's set for Real Madrid redemption as he's getting his shot. And Greg Taylor sees free agents. Fucking who cares about Greg Taylor? And the organised party, that's another headline that I've just seen. The organised party for the title when Celtic do win the league for the 51st time. It's not usually when we win the league that we go into town, though, is it? It's usually the last game of the season, or after the Scottish Cup. But anyway, let's get to the real meat and the bone of. I'm going to turn that down because that's Brendan Rodgers' interview. A 20-team league. Someone's just said 14 team, 12 team, 10 team. Tell me in the comments why you want a 10-team league. Tell me why you want a 12-team league and tell me why you want 14. And I'm just going to jump straight into the comments tonight. The Celtic FC winning team. But Tam, are you not fed up? And I'm going to put this out there, right? I mean, everybody knows that I want a bigger league. I think it should be a far bigger league. I think that the SPFL, if we go down the 10-team route, if we reduce time to get rid of these freeloaders, gobshites, 18-team league, exactly. Peter, I should have made that 18 team all day long. I think that there's far too many people that are up in the SPFL, and there's too many people that are in charge of clubs, ultimately just looking at themselves and wanting 4 derbies, wanting the TV money that comes with it. Maybe ask Police Scotland how big the SPFL, the clowns. Yeah, Paul Baird, you're right there. Maybe it's SPFL that wants a smaller league. Maybe it's the Police Scotland that want a smaller league. If you want a smaller league, the 10-team league, and if you've put that in the poll, tell me in the comments why you want a smaller league. Because I want to try and get as many people on this as possible tonight. I've had 50 votes so far in 4 minutes. Paul Baird's announced. 18-team league, says Stuart. 3 up and 3 down. Playing each other 4 times a season is boring. Yes, Paul, exactly. Exactly. You won't get a team league. Turkeys don't vote for Christmas. They won't vote for Christmas. I think that they will get a 10-team league. I think that there'll be financial incentives to make the league smaller, and that's the way that they'll put it. And I just think that it's a shame for Scottish football. And I think if we go down the 10-team league, I mean, the English already call it a farmers' league. If you go down to 10 teams, you can say it's a farmers' league all day long then. It's just, I just find it unbelievable that they're seriously considering a 10-team league without even asking the fans. Because at the end of the day, it's the fans that pay the money to go through the turnstile. They should be the first in and asked about the product, ultimately, that we're watching. So let me just find this interview that I've seen earlier. I can't find it. How come when you're looking for this? I should have kept it under that. Just see if we can find it. It's on Sky. SPFL reconstruction. Keith Jackson's been talking about it.
Clearly, there was talk of the main kind of agenda being reducing the top flight from 12 teams to 10. Well, the clubs that are pushing for this and that have actually triggered the sort of debate, they're looking for an expanded Premier League or Premiership. And on top of all that, just short before we came on the show, St Johnston chairman Adam Webb has come out and as we discussed last night, you need 11 Premier League clubs, Premiership clubs, to vote for. So if you wanted to go to a top 10, you need 11 out of the 12 to back that. Adam Webb has already come out and said St Johnston will vote against it. And
right, so St Johnston are going to vote against a 10-team league. So is this the SPFL? Is this the SPFL at war with each other? We already know it's one-team league, but in the truth, yeah, it's a one-team league. Tarmac, it's probably going to be another couple of days before it arrives. When you look, how many teams do you think would actually vote for a 10-team league, and who's pushing it? We need to be clear. We need to be clear on who is pushing for a 10-team league. Is it Sevco because they think that they'll do better in a 10-team league? I mean, who the people that you heard Keith Jackson there say that the people that initiated these talks were all wanting to increase the league. They wanted to make the league bigger. So if they're the mother of all motherboards, fucking tell me about it. Tell me about it. Any team in danger of finishing bottom 2 will vote against it. But I don't just think it's the ones that are going to vote bottom 2. Because if you're going to finish bottom two, you're going to go into a relegation zone. It's the teams that are going to then come up, because you still have to have some form of teams coming up. So there could be 3 teams relegated. 3 teams could be relegated from the SPFL. And this is what I don't get. Who's going to vote for it? I don't believe that we're talking about, and even the speculation is about the fact that these idiots that run our club want to reduce the SPFL. It's not what the fans want. It's definitely not what the fans want. Although there's been 68 votes so far, I should have made this a 4 bigger poll. I think I might do a poll on this again tomorrow. We'll get some more people on. And what I will do is I will put a poll in. If I click on, I wonder if I can do it on the community tab. Posts. Poll, text poll, yeah. Two seconds. SP 14. Right, so I've done, can I pin that? Can you pin that? I have went and put one on the community page, also the post page on the main channel. So it's got 10 teams, 12 teams, 14 teams, and 18 teams. So once you're finished on this, copy that, live stream, put that in there. Go to that page. Once that is up, I can then pin that. Teams that give us away attendance. I'm just going to grab B. Teams that give us full away attendance will vote it down. The money they make from Celtic and Rangers, going to their grounds twice a season, this is their main income for that year. A 10-team league won't happen, says Paul. Won't happen. Remember the story that broke in April? The story broke in April Fool's Day. I don't think that really matters when it broke, because it was in the afternoon it broke anyway. I wonder what 2 teams they were thinking of getting rid of. It's not just 2 teams, Paul. There would be 3 teams would go down in one season, because you have to have, it's either that or there's going to be, nobody will get relegated and nobody will get promotion. So you've got to have promotion. So you would then be 3 teams going down. There would be 2 that automatically go, 2 that automatically go, and then there would be a third one that would drop down, because you have to have promotion. If you do not have promotion, you're then neglecting your duties of fucking whatever. You're going against the rules. But it's just because they put the living room telly, that's some chair you're sitting on. What? That's some chair I'm sitting on. Tell me about it. Jerry says, how many plastic pitches are we getting in with the 14 teams? I don't think there should be any plastic pitches, and I don't think there would be any. When you look at the teams that are in the championship, there's not many plastic pitches. Plastic pitches seem to be teams that are in the SPFL, funnily enough. 14 teams will probably happen, but there are ways of doing the split with 16 teams after 30 fixtures. What happens to the first division? 20 teams. We should never let our club die. He says we should go straight for the 20 teams. I don't think that we'll go back to the team. We definitely need playoffs. Exactly. John Paul Glasgow. Playoffs. If we have no relegation and we put 3 teams down, there's not going to be any playoffs that year. It's all mind-blowing. Lights up. No, the chair actually lights up. The chair lights up. Oh, look, there's a zombie in. Oh, Tarmac, you should have just left him. Because Hyde user forever. He's gone. See, he's disappeared. He can never comment again, says the hopeful person. Imagine coming onto a Celtic channel when Celtic are about to win the league for the 55th time. And we're about to win another treble. Oof. 20 teams in the Premier League and second league of 20 teams. Yep, I think that would be about right, because then when Rangers get relegated, they'll still be in a team of 20 when they go bust again, because then we're going to get any money to spend. Brendan Rodgers, let's listen to a little bit of Brendan Rodgers and see what he was saying to Celtic TV just a couple of hours ago.
Is that still the case? But we've had some news, and we'll see over the course of the next 5 to 6 weeks is what was mentioned. But this is just something that I think day by day we have a look at it. But I think the timeline that was given to us was maybe around about that. But Cass tends to think it might be not as long as that. So, but certainly in the immediate future, he won't be available. Got Liam Scales now.
This is actually ones from yesterday. Celtic putting out things a day later onto the media. Oh, there's breaking news tonight. And it's not directly Celtic related, but it is ex-Celtic manager related. And it looks like Ange's about to get the punt, according to a transfer guru. Anyway, let's get back to the comment section. The Hunter alert is spin by Brendan. Yeah, it is. 38 team league, play each other once a season. Opinionated Glaswegian. That's not helping the cause, but it would be better just playing each other once a season. We're sitting with 97 votes in so far. 75% want a 14-team league or more. 18% want 10 team, and 7% want 17% want 12 teams, and 7% want 10 team league. Why would you want a 10 team league? Why would you want a 10 team league? Who cares about Ange? Yeah, who cares about him? That's why I completely just came off that story. Let me try and find this SPFL one again.
It would look day one. The consensus isn't there for the 10. I doubt very much it's going to be there for the 14 or 16 either.
John writes in saying Turkeys aren't going to vote for Christmas, Scott.
Exactly.
Jacko, who would actually want a 10 then? I mean, is it purely the bigger clubs and purely just to get a bigger chunk of the cash being divvied up? I mean, is that
I'm not
for it?
I'm not sure, Scott. I mean, I do know, obviously, there's a lot of talk of fixture congestion. And so the bigger clubs...
Fixture congestion? That's fucking international fucking football then. Stop the international football. Other teams managed to go with a 38 games a season.
They haven't asked for this. Balls to that. There'll be too many objections.
Where is... Simple. Combine the championship with the SPFL. Play each other twice. The league splits in... Oh, that's fucking ridiculous, mate. Where's the Sky? This fucking old laptop's crap. According to STV News, 10-team league is the favourite, Baz. If we go to a 10-team league, 10 is completely madness. Turkeys are not going to vote for Christmas. Not a chance. Do away with the League Cup. I'd be for that. Do away with the League Cup, considering it's the League Cup that starts at the beginning of the year. I mean, there's all sorts of starting the cup in August is just ridiculous. Tony, hail to you. How do we win trebles then? Yeah, how do we win trebles? They would choose whatever thinks might help Rangers, says Opinion in Glasgow. We don't need to be playing teams 4 times in the league, to be fair. I've said Clyde One Tonight poll showed 3% for a 10 team. I've said for a long time that this is nothing new for me in this channel. I've said that the league should be expanded. I definitely don't think that it should be put down to a 10. I mean, I think it should be put to at least a 16 or 18. I think that going to an 18-team league and playing each other twice is more than adequate. And then it gives you, if you expand the league, the argument for expanding the league and the argument for reducing the league. The argument for reducing the league would be the bigger clubs will say that they get a bigger chunk of the cash, which they try and keep. And that's it. That's the only benefit. When you expand the league, it means that you can play each other only twice, but they won't do that because they want to keep the 4 Edinburgh derbies and the 4 Glasgow derbies for Sky Television, which we make completely buttons off. It's ridiculous what we make of television. Put it into the bigger package of what we make financially on a year-on-year basis. The money that comes for Sky is almost negligent. The money for winning the league is ridiculous in Scotland. I mean, you only get something like 3 million for winning the league, which is absolute peanuts. When you think that you can get 1.5 million for winning a game in the Champions League. I mean, it's different levels, I understand, but the benefits of expanding the league is you can play each other only twice. You can then have a system where you can bring more youth players into your squad because there's games that you can use more youth players in throughout the season, I think. It's not all cutthroat and a must-win every game. At Celtic, every game is a must-win. It's always going to be that. But I think that you can have the opportunity throughout a season for squad rotation to bring in the younger players rather than just bring in first-team squad players. And I think that is the benefit of expanding the league. And I think as a fan base and as people that have spent tens of thousands over the years, people that have spent hard-earned cash, to not have any part in the decision is absolutely disgusting from the SPFL and the power brokers. Considering what we get for Sky, we shouldn't have to. I mean, pander to them. No, we shouldn't pander to them. Eddie says, what's the point of them discussing and making the league smaller? I would go for an 18-team league, but we know that won't happen, Baz. Eddie, I think that we need to make it, Yo Kaiser, how are you? I think that I've said for long enough. Tom Mack says, for fuck's sake, migrant gangs are getting more than Celtic. Paul Bear says, don't care about the fans at the end of the day. No, they don't. And there has to be a concerted effort by every single fan base in the SPFL this weekend. There has to be a concise message to the powers that be at football that we do not want a smaller league. We do not want Farmers League. I mean, we already get called a Farmers League by the English. If you were to go down to a 10 league, it's a Farmers League all day long. It's officially the smallest league in Europe. You're putting. I mean, are you really trying to say that that's going to improve teams going into a European context to get their jolly in July when they get their wee one game away to wherever? And I just think that it's absolutely diabolical that they're doing this without any context to the fans. Young players, see how it goes. Give young players a chance. Game time. Yep. The League Cup. Make it young players only. See how that goes. I don't think that would ever happen. But they tried to, that wouldn't happen, Joseph, because they tried to make the B team situation where they put the B team players down lower leagues where they were playing adults. And this was the argument for it. The argument for it was you would bring the players on better. And it's, well, no, you wouldn't really, because they're playing a standard of football that's way below their pay grade. Way below their pay grade. And this is no disrespect to other teams in the B League, but you're playing against teams that are nowhere near. If you're expected to jump from Celtic B team into the first team and be a certain standard of player, you're not going to hit that standard of play on a regular basis playing in the B team against lower leagues and in the lower league. It's nonsense. The SPFL was just, it's absolutely bonkers what they're doing. Why is this light not on? Oh, there we go. Just got to catch up. It's a bit bright. But anyway, I'd love to see an 18-team leagues by spot on, and that would help teams. The SPFL is the best leagues pro rata based of population of 5.2 million, says Saigo Boy. Yes, it is. And that's made up of, due to the fact that per capita, we've got two stadiums that are filling 50,000 fans. Let's not go down that road, because saying that we're one of the best supported leagues, tell that to Celtic fans when they go to an empty stadium and there's 3/4 of the stadium empty. Tell that to St Johnston fans, who the St Johnston owner, who can't get his fans to turn up on an ongoing basis. So this pro rata based population nonsense, do you know, saying that we're one of the best supported leagues. Well, fucking just open your eyes and look at games on the telly when there's fucking half empty stands. Do you know what I mean? It's make the league bigger, it'll put more bums on seats. If the SPL reduces the teams, it's going to have an impact on teams. I think if you reduce the league, I think people are just going to go, do you know what? Fuck it. It's not a working man's game anymore. What, they're going to reduce the league and put the prices up? Are you telling me that they're going to reduce the league and reduce the price of tickets? Not a chance. Not a chance. They cannot reduce the size of the league and reduce ticket prices at the same time. There's only one person that will pay for the reduced league, and it'll be you, the fan. It'll be us, the fans. It'll be people that pay for tickets to go to games, home and away, that will foot the bill. The key is populist. Yeah, explanation versus Europe. Time for change in the league was when they tried to get Sevco up as quick as possible. A league that has 4 games against Motherwell and 4 games against Ross County per season can't continue. That's unsustainable. 4 games a season is the issue. It's not the games against Motherwell. It's not games against Ross County. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's 4 games. 4 games against any team is unsustainable. It fucking doesn't make for good telly. I seen a comment from a Chinese guy that followed Celtic since Kyogo joined, and then he said, I'm stopping watching Celtic now. So Kyogo's left, and I'm like, well, don't give a shit about Scottish football. He said, to be fair, I only watch Scottish football because Scottish football was where Kyogo played. He then went on to say that the standard of football in the SPFL, he said, when you watch Celtic, it's all about Celtic keeping the ball and the other team just sitting back and defending. It's not good to watch. If you've just came down, ET just lands, aliens descend on Earth, and they go, tell me what, show you the biggest sport on Earth. Fucking Trump goes, it's football. Show me the biggest game on the planet this weekend. And somebody goes, fucking Glasgow Derby. Fucking. The aliens come down and they go, this isn't Glasgow, it's fucking Edinburgh, and end up in the Edinburgh Derby or the Dundee Derby, and they go, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? Anyway, all right, Troops says Lanky. Time for change as league goes through and they try to get Sevco up quick. We've had enough zombies, yeah, we've had enough zombies. Keith says he's all for a 16-team league. It'd be funny as fuck. Proper teams trying to do VAR up and running when they're struggling to buy grass and petrol for the lawnmower. But Keith, is that not why they're struggling? Because they're in a league that, you know, it's all about sharing the wealth. You know, they would get a bit more money. So you're saying, so that's, I'm all for a bigger league, an 18-team league, play each other twice. 18 teams play each other. I've said this before. Do you think that Barcelona fans and Real Madrid fans moan about going to Murcia? In fact, Murcia, Elche. Elche is a nice city, but they went down. I'm trying to think who else. Las Palmas. You've got to jump on a plane to get there. Mallorca, you've got to jump on a plane. Osasuna, Getafe, Girona, Real Betis, maybe. But do you think that Barcelona moan about going to Las Palmas, even though they've got to jump on a flight? To be fair, most Spanish teams get flights to wherever they're going. And it's good to see that the other Madrid team is going to get relegated. When you look at the likes of other countries that do have bigger leagues, and people say, oh, the Spanish leagues is 20 teams, and you have relegation and all the rest of it. But each year there are teams in the league that are just small little towns, and they never moan about it. All they need is the air that they breathe and a bank loan. Yep. The aliens are here, Baz. They landed in 2012. It's called Sevco. Yeah, it's true. You're getting my comment wrong, Baz. That's my point. I'm over hitting smaller clubs. Sorry about that, Keith. I think, I've banged on about it long enough. I think that the league should be made into a bigger league. You need snowplows to get to Inverness, Baz. No, you don't. I've been in Inverness in December and it was 16 degrees one year and everybody turned up in bloody shorts and t-shirts and everything. But anyway, let's see how the poll is doing. 6% want a 10-team league. If you voted for a 10-team league, tell me why. 12 teams is 14% and 14 teams, 12 teams is 14% and 14 teams is 80%. 80%. Big game for that, lots of money for the small clubs. I don't think that it's just the money for the small clubs. I think it's Falkirk, Livy, Dunfermline would do well. Rafe Rovers, another team that's been in the Premier League in the past. There's teams that could fit in. But you've got to remember why we reduced the league, because it was all about money. And it was all about the bigger clubs wanted to retain as much of the money. And leave it as Celtic going for 16 in a row. Leave it as Celtic go for 16 in a row. Tap was never. Yeah, I'm telling you, it was. I'm sure I've got pictures of it. Just see. Sky. Let's see if we can get this to come through.
I think the bar, for good or for bad, when it comes to football, UK football, world football, is the English Premiership. You know, they've got 20 clubs. And what you want to do is get. We're not the same size as England, obviously, and Scotland.
This is the St Johnston owner.
We're not going to have 20 clubs in our Premiership, but what you want to do is edge closer to that because it is a more familiar system that is more geared towards success on the world stage and on the UK stage. And so we should absolutely be heading in the other direction. From looking at the quality in Championship this season, I can tell you we have 2, 3, 4 clubs for sure that would do just fine in the Premiership. And that's more where we should be headed. We should be growing the Premiership so that we become a little bit more of a comfortable situation for fans around the world, fans in the UK, fans wherever they may be that are following our league. And so it's absolutely the opposite. We should be, I believe, going to a 14-team league very soon. And then 5 years later, we should be projecting, as long as the quality in the Championship is sufficient, we should be projecting to go to a 16-team league. And if you keep growing it on a gradual, very deliberate way, we can make sure that the quality is there. We absolutely need to have quality with every team in the Premiership. But that's the direction we should be going because it's better for Scotland, it's better for Scottish football.
Yeah, there we go. That's the St Johnston owner.
Games are getting less and less, and every game is more important. But we have put ourselves in this position, and we need to get up.
St Johnston. So anyway, that is that guy from St Johnston talking about the bigger league. Now, somebody said, do you agree with postponing games? I think that we start the SPFL too early. Never mind postponing games for European. Where is the comment? Baz, do you agree with games being postponed so teams can do better in Europe? Says Celtic Mad. Celtic Mad, I think the issue is that we start our league too early. And teams do not get a chance to, they're trying to combine. I mean, there's two arguments to the coin. The qualification that, say, Hibernian have to go through to get into Europa, if they've got 4 or 5 games, they need to start the league earlier. They need to start the pre-season earlier. I think that our league, our SPFL league, harms us a bit by starting too early. We start a week, is it 2 weeks before the English league? I just think that we start too early. And yes, I think that we should be trying to do as much as possible, not just for Celtic, but for all these other teams. We should be doing as much as possible to try and get them. And it's the most important games of your season, but it's at the beginning of the season. Kaiser says, in all honesty, I think the small teams, more stands to the big 2, change more money, would get a vote. Yeah, the vote from the games. I'm fed up with saying what I know is weak Ogo is going back as well. Weak Ogo is going back? I don't think so. I think that's all just paper talk. I think it would be a good, exactly. Sunstone Sheep steals the internet tonight. He says, I think it would be good for Scottish players to get a chance to be spotted by expanding the league. Yep. John Shingley says, Baz, we should be thinking about getting away from this league, as Europe is our league. We deserve to be in. I think that if the Champions League keeps on going the way it's going, that will be I think that they'll only try and get more games into the Champions League. So there'll be a European format. There will be a European League format of some kind, more than what there is. I know there was a league format in the Champions League this year, but I could see that going a lot further in the next few years. 14-team league is unsustainable. It means 26 league games over a season. 16 is too small. 18 play each other. So they're 18 or 10. You know that they're going to go for the 10 because they want to play each other 4 times, but I don't think they'll get the vote for it. And I think that it's bringing in a level of animosity between fans and the power brokers, whoever suggested the 10. It'll be interesting to see if it comes out who did mention the 10. Do you think Kyogo will be brought back? No, I don't think so. Just my own personal opinion, I don't think that Kyogo will be brought back. Just hang on this. The Greek Super League structure looks good. I've never looked at that, to be honest. Brown Warrior says, use the League Cup as a competitive pre-season as seeded groups. But then, if you're making the League Cup as a pre-season, do you know, we finished the league at the end of May. You've got this season, you've got 2 weeks into June, you've got, the issue is international games, right? The issue is international games. It's not games on a domestic level. It's not Champions League games. It's not European games, right? The issue is international games. And the SPFL were trying to bend over backwards so that Scotland can fucking partake in a Diddy Cup for a Nations League. I just think it's nice. Sean says he'd bring back Kyogo tomorrow for 5 million. League Cup in pre-season, I just don't get that. Future Baz, I could see the Champions League and Europa becoming 16 teams per season. UEFA insisting that all domestic leagues in Europe have 16, meaning only 30 games. Yeah, I could actually see that. Yeah, I could see that. Ten is going to fuck Europe qualifying up. Yeah, it's qualifying. I mean, could you imagine Ross County? I mean, say for instance, Ross County gets to the Scottish Cup final. And this is the madness of Scottish football. You can get Ross County qualifying for Europe the next year if Celtic win the league and win the Scottish Cup, say, right? And it's fucking bonkers. Because they've not got the infrastructure to even compete at a European level. I think something needs to be done with that. It has to be really something. So the Greek setup goes like this. There are 14 teams, first place, second, fifth. There's a playoff for European games. 6th to 9th at Europa Conference. Fight it to stay up. Interesting format, but it's a fucking that's just mind-boggling. So when the fuck do you decide when the league is won then? I mean, how many league games did they play? The 14 teams. 14, how many games did they play in the league though? Did they play 38 league games? This seems to be the issue. It's 38 league games. We could reduce the size of the league games that we play, but it would mean missing out. The issue is that Scottish football wants to maintain playing each other 4 times a season. And that is the issue. It's the format and the amount of games and league format or whatever doesn't matter because Sevco, Celtic, Hibs and Hearts will not vote to get rid of the fucking 4 games a season nonsense. And I think until fans stand up and say, do you know what? We don't want to play each other 4 times a season. It's basically 3 tiers. 16 is the way to go, says Anglin Ayrshire. Stuart Ramsey says, if it goes to a 10-team league, I'll stop watching it. I wouldn't watch other games. I'll watch Celtic and that's it. I'll watch Celtic TV and I'll never pay for fucking anything off them. But to have more tiers. Lancaster says, in 24-25 Super League, 14 teams played 26 followed by the playoffs. So they play 20, so that's less games. So they play each other twice. So they're lanky. That just proves their point. It's it's the 4 Glasgow derbies. Until the men in charge have the balls to go, fucking stick your 4 derbies up your arse. We don't want 4 derbies. Let's do a quick vote on that before we end up for the night because it's late. Would you rather only play each team twice a season? Would you rather only play each team twice a season? I can't even vote, can I? Can't even vote. I'll go yes. I would rather play each team twice. You play a home and away game. John says, Baz, I hate our league. We should be playing Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid week out instead of the governed Ibrox mob. Anton Rogan's left foot says they need to realise that the 4 derby dilutes the product. It does that. It does that. 10% saying no, they wouldn't play each other twice. Tell us in the comments why. The people that are voting no, the people that have voted no, that you don't want to play each other twice, tell us in the comments. Because it's all about generating conversation. And I think that it's interesting to get to think why you want to play each other more than twice. Therefore, twice, Baz, tell Sky to get to fuck. Eventually, Europe will play 16 games per season. All leagues will be forced into 16-team league to reduce domestic fixtures. Yep, I think so. I think that they will. 4 to 6 derbies a year is boring. Yep. 4 derbies, only big moments in Scottish football. Baz, at season 66-67, had Celtic played 6 competitive cup games before the league started on the 10th of September. And there's the league starting on the 10th of September. The current league starts on the first week in August, a month and a half earlier. More games to skimp the wanky mob. I would rather play them once at Ibrox One at Parkhead for 6 points a game. Big swing makes it a big event again. Yep. I think that the derby has lost its. It's good to win. It's hard when you lose, but I think as a competition, it's lost the buzz that it had back in the 90s for definite. Too many games. We Celtic quiz ball in the 1967 season. How many games do we need to win the league now, mate? We need to win another 2 games, I think it is. 3 to be officially crowned champions. So it'll be the first game after the split. We're breaking world records, league trebles, merch. Why change it? We're not breaking league records when it comes to merchandise. No, Jerry, nowhere near it. Leeds United sold more merchandise through Adidas than Celtic last season. Leeds United. Go and look at the stats. We're breaking records in a Celtic sense in the amount of merchandise we're selling, but nowhere near. I think that we're around about 16th in the world or something. And it's maybe 8th or something, I'm not sure. It's top 10, I think. But Leeds United, I remember seeing the Leeds United sold more merchandise through Adidas than Celtic. 16 teams playing each other twice. Time for a winter break. Exactly. the winter break would be a good one, especially since there is the extended European football. Would you start a winter break in December and not play the derby at New Year? If the Huns drop points in the next two games, and it was in Aberdeen, well, there we go. What the selling zombie shots. John says, why twice? Because it means we get to beat the government. I'm not really bothered about beating them. I think the bigger picture is European football for Celtic, and it's where the money is. It is where the money is. I'm just trying to. Just see this. Nothing story. Nothing story, nothing story, nothing stories. Anyway, let's finish this poll off. Paul Bear says the Mankey Mob are the new Club 2012 present. Yeah. Derby should be assigned to a particular time of year. It's a look at the scheduling. Yeah, I know. Before Derby's season is why the league have TV money. And I think that we would get a better TV deal because we could go for a worldwide audience. The statistics are there that we could have a world. I don't think that we get world. This is my thinking for the Sky TV deal and why it does more harm to Scottish football. You can only watch Sky Television in the UK. Or you get a Fire Stick, you can watch it wherever around the world. You have to then. Celtic and Rangers are forced to sell the derby to Sky. They want control of that. If you take away the money that Sky gives Scottish football as a whole, and if you then get a worldwide TV audience deal, and you're able to sell the rights, it's Sky that are then allowed to sell the rights around the world. If you sell the rights, the stats are there. We have the people around the world that are interested in the league. Do you know? I think that we're doing ourselves out of money. Definitely doing ourselves out of money with Sky. Norway plays 16-team league and no winter league. Not as bad as Norway and Sweden. We need a global SFA app for every penny coming into the league, which individual club selection of your following own previous games catalogue, EU football, £10 a month. That would be fine, Kaiser, but I think £10 a month would be too cheap. And what happens when teams get relegated? You could have the likes of, say, Dundee United or Dundee where they get relegated. The league struggles to get a sponsor. Yeah, because that's the powers that... It's the same people that struggle to get a sponsor. It's the same people that are talking about reducing the size of the league. Just think about that for a second. They are completely inadequate in getting any type of good deal for Scottish football. They go down the route of getting in what they call or class as a good deal by a betting company, and it's nonsense. It's nonsense. I just think that for the fact that every game, and I think that we also get a bad TV deal and we get bad sponsorship deals because the games are only shown on Sky Television and it's shown to a small audience. You know, the amount of people down in England that watch Scottish football is maybe about 1%. It's probably expats. You don't get a lot of people watching Scottish games. You don't get a lot of people, even when it comes to the Glasgow Derby. I don't believe that it goes down well. Anyway, it was 100k each time. So one team league at the minute, the Huns are shot. They are that. Anyway, I'm going to finish that poll down. It's 2, and 12% said they would rather play twice. Anyway, interesting. It is a one-team league as it stands, but it's I wouldn't say it's going to stay that forever. Sky money is nothing to Celtic, but everything for other clubs. And I still say, and I still stand by the fact that we could get a bigger deal. Anyway, on that note, that's me done and dusted for this evening. I'm going to leave the chair as completely empty, and I'm going to finish it up there. I shall see yous in the morning. On that note, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.